What is something we all take that we can't live with, can't live without? And when we live with it, it can't be too much. Keeps us energized, keeps us focused, keeps us productive, and when we take it away, our whole life crumbles. That is going to be caffeine. But caffeine is not just an aid, it is also a drug. If you look at it as a tool, but also something that can hurt you, you will not only have a much healthier relationship with caffeine, you'll also have a better lifestyle, better performance, better physique, better health, because of all the things that caffeine can affect. A lot of people will tell you, hey, just keep it under 300 milligrams, or, so as long as you're only having 1 or 2 energy drinks a day. I'm going to explain exactly why that's a problem and why I think you should take your caffeine and take it a little bit more seriously. So caffeine does a lot for us, right? It's a diuretic, so it helps us shed water. It keeps us more thermogenic, so we can burn more calories throughout the day. It gives us energy, gives us focus. Ton of benefits, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't take caffeine. I will tell you that all I do is half a scoop of pre-workout at this time, 5 days a week, where I was taking a full scoop of pre-workout every single day, in addition to probably having some caffeine through tea and coffee and stuff like that. Still not a lot, but the more I reduced my caffeine, the lower my tolerance got, the better I started to perform, the better I started to feel. What happens, caffeine, again, is a drug. You build a tolerance to it. And even though you might not get the same effect from the last dose, and you up it, and now you still don't have that same effect after time, the body is still undergoing the effects and processes of processing that caffeine, also the internal effects and responses from the caffeine itself. So for instance, you might not feel more energetic. You might still feel tired, but your heart rate could still be through the roof. You could still be burning through precious glycogen in the brain or other parts of the body if you're in an extremely depleted state or your nutrition is not on point, right? You could be absolutely still taxing your adrenals or having cortisol elevate to dangerous levels to where you're now affecting other hormones, both sexual sex hormones or other bodily hormone functions, just because cortisol is affected. Things like thyroid, for instance, your thyroid can be completely taxed because cortisol could be through the roof. So just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not doing its work. And so what I always tell my clients is, look, I understand it's a double-edged sword. I understand it's a need. More so a want, but it could be a need. What you need to do is start to track the amount of caffeine that you're doing. So don't just look at a monster and be like, I had 1 monster a day. How much caffeine was that? Was it 200 milligrams? Was it 300 milligrams? Add that up. If you could start to reduce slowly the amount of caffeine that you're taking, again, I think a certain amount of caffeine is beneficial, right? For productivity, brain function, just overall performance, right? But it's those unhealthy numbers where it starts to impact your sleep, your anxiety, your life, and your health, okay? So coming back to what I said, the goal is to ultimately not take any caffeine at all and just be able to holistically, through natural means, meaning food, sleep, hydration, overall mindset, to have enough energy to carry those things out. If there's going to be a certain amount of caffeine present, it should only be the amount of caffeine that you absolutely necessarily need, get the effect that you need, and move on. The only way that you're going to be able to do that, again, is if you track your caffeine intake, when you're taking it, how often, how long. So I think one issue that people run into is they'll buy an energy drink. Let's say it's a 300 milligram per can energy drink. They might only need 200 milligrams of caffeine, but the whole drink and it has 300, and they're not just going to throw the whole drink away or a part of the drink away once they get to 200 milligrams. They can't really measure that, right? So that's a scenario where you can really improve yourself, maybe getting smaller increments of caffeine or different sources of it, okay? A lot of people like the taste of Monsters and Red Bulls or whatever it may be. The issue, again, becomes you're enjoying it, not so much for the benefit of it, okay? Now you stack caffeine with those poor lifestyle habits, with poor nutrition, with overtraining, you're just creating a recipe of disaster for your body if you're looking to do any sort of muscle building, body fat loss, competition prep, strength training, whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, not a lot of people focus on this thing. I will tell you that it is a silent killer of your progress. I think it is very important to look at all aspects, right? The lifestyle and the nutrition aspects. This would be one of those nutritional supplementation, but also lifestyle aspects, looking at this whole thing again holistically. If you like this information and found it useful and would like some more, please hit the subscribe button down below. In addition, if you'd like to know what it's like to work with me directly, one-on-one coaching to achieve your goal, feel free to either reach out through the application I have in the description link in my channel, or if I sent this to you via DM or some sort of messenger, you just reach back and be like, hey, Ian, I'd love to know more about your coaching. I will happily guide you through that and show you what I'm all about.